Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's the Hooptalk podcast. We're all the way at episode 20 for season 3. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But most importantly, join the Atleta Club today for a chance to win 2 free tickets to Aquatica. Don't forget. I've been forgetting to mention it early, but here I am, locked in. All right. I'm going to try to mention it 5 times. That's my goal. 5 times. All right. That's number 1. But let's get right into it, man.
How do you get it?
How do I get what?
The channel.
Yeah, join the Atleta Club. You can choose whatever tier. All members are eligible. We have the OBL starting up soon. That might be our first topic since it's going to be nice and short. Nothing's happened yet, but the Orlando Basketball League is starting up soon. So make sure y'all join the Atleta Club. If you're interested in watching those games, you do have to be our middle tier. What did I call it? Star Club, I believe. You have to be a Star Club member. It's a measly $4.99 a month. Pretty easy, but you'll get to catch all the OBL games, the newest up-and-coming league. It's going to be very exciting. A lot of teams that you guys might know, for those of you who are watching and pay attention to the rec scene in the Central Florida area. Chosen Ones is going to be a part of that. NWO is going to be a part of that. Alafaya King, some of the familiar names, and then there's other teams as well. So join the Atleta Club. If you're just here to try and get you some Aquatica tickets, feel free to join the fan club. If you're interested in catching those OBL games, make sure you're signed up to that Star Club or you will miss those games. Just putting that out there. Don't say I didn't warn you, all right? But OBL is going to start tomorrow. We're going to be there. Another game on Tuesday. It's going to be a jam-packed week for Atleta TV next week. So make sure y'all tapped in, all right? But let's talk about our first topic of the day, our first actual discussion. Lambs versus Memphis. Was it Memphis Lions, if I'm not mistaken? The Lambs had their, I want to say, what is that, their second game of the season, right? Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Second
First
game of the
Titans.
season. Yep, second game of the season, second dub of the season. And I do want to correct myself that I noticed on last week's episode I did mention that the Lambs were playing the Texas team again. I made a mention that they were playing them that day that we were potting, but that was wrong. It was Tampa that they were playing. I mistook those teams there, but I'm sure by this point it's been a week. Y'all have figured that much out. I was wrong, but they are playing Tampa today. Now I'm actually right. They are playing Tampa today. I believe they're visiting them after coming off of a win versus the Memphis Lions, the visiting Memphis Lions, 115-76. I don't know if those games have been posted already. Or do they do them live? Tyler, I know you've done more research on that than I have. Do they do them live?
Yeah. Here, I'll give you. So do you want to just send that to me if you can?
Because I tried to go to the TBL TV thing and it didn't have a score or anything. I found the score on Instagram.
But I can tell you the score: 115-76.
Yeah, I saw the score on Instagram. I didn't know how it worked. I thought I was on the wrong website for a second there, but I guess that makes sense. You have to pay, which I will consider. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, Lambs win their first or second game of the season. Did you guys have a chance to do any type of research on the game? I'm assuming no, since you have to pay. But I'm just shooting my shot.
Daniel Parrish went absolutely insane, bro. Let me tell you, Daniel Parrish was crazy against this team, and they didn't really have the size. So one thing we talked about when we talked about the ADS Sentinels is their size. They were very lengthy and they were very athletic, which at times kind of slowed down Keith, for example. You didn't see that with the Titans, and you also did not see that with the Lions. I personally think Keith had a fantastic game this game. He was doing his role that we saw him in the in the GM5, kind of being a facilitator from the post. And oh my God, they cooked them. The Lambs absolutely cooked them. I didn't get to watch the whole game. I did pay. I'm buying a league pass. But man,
you bought the league pass?
I like seeing the Lambs more. I'm going to. Yeah, I'll let you. Well,
is the league pass?
Yeah. Good catch, Tyler.
Is the league pass? Is the league pass for the whole year one price, or is it like a monthly thing?
One price, $40.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I could do a team pass. I probably don't. I mean, I don't know if I'm in need of a whole league pass, but I'd probably support them with the month pass though.
Yeah, my bad. Team pass is $40.
That's what I meant. Team pass. I said I said month pass. I don't know what the heck that was. Yeah, team pass.
I said league pass.
They do have a league pass. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably support them with the team pass. You know, just to show some love. I believe in karma. Like, you know, doing good things so good things can happen to us. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch, so I just wanted to bring up the fact that the Lambs were able to win. I'll probably tap into that team pass and watch games more frequently. I didn't realize that that's how it worked until I saw the website this morning. So that is unfortunate. But shout out to the Lambs, man. I'm gonna try my best to come to a game this month. It won't be next week, unfortunately, if they have any games, but I will try the week after. Cross my fingers and see if it works out.
Hey, I
Yeah.
will also be there. I can tell you.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with wherever they're at usually, so I'll be there too.
but we
But
did
I
get.
wanted to mention something real quick that I noticed within this game. I know we didn't get to watch the game, but just watching it, it looks like the ball was spread out pretty well. Everybody besides Daniel Parrish, everybody is around that 13-10 mark, which is pretty good. It's pretty solid to see, like the ball being spread like that
Oh yeah, you
all the way
said
down.
you said
Hmm.
he went crazy. What was his numbers? You didn't mention.
He had 25,
25
I
and
think.
5.
Yeah,
Oh nice.
yeah.
25 and 5.
Everybody
But
else though was spread
4 of
out,
those
which is
rebounds
nice.
were offensive, too.
Yeah, yeah. This is dope. It's
They
dope.
also,
Go ahead.
they had Ronald Delp, too, from FAU. 5 blocks.
Ah,
That's a 7 footer,
Uh,
right?
yeah, 7-1.
5 blocks.
7-1. Oh snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
That's what it
big one.
says. Just in case if I'm
Oh
wrong.
yeah,
I'm getting that
Keith
from Google.
Keith had himself a game. 10, 8, and 8. All
12, 8, and
right.
8.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Hey, my dog Berta with the double digit score. All right.
Yeah, I'm happy Berto's getting that play time though.
Hey, KT 9 and 9. All right.
Yeah, everybody had a
That's what I'm
decent
saying.
game. Like it was a decent all around game for everybody.
Yeah, facts. That's
Wait.
shout out.
Wait, Alex doesn't go by Alex here?
Yeah, that's like a.
Yeah, AJ doesn't go by AJ there either. Go look.
Well, no, he goes by his real name. Like, I knew his real name. I didn't know Alex wasn't Alex's real name.
Oh no, it's
Really?
Kafumba. That's why they call him KT.
I've never heard of anyone called KT. This is crazy.
Is that Sanchez? Alex Sanchez? Not him,
Torrey.
right? Torrey. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Big body.
I know what you're talking about the dude off the Royals. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he goes by Alex. I don't know if that's like a middle name or anything, but I just know he goes by Alex. I'm gonna assume it's because the same reason I just go by Nas, to avoid people having to figure out the pronunciation of my name. I feel like that's what everybody does these days because it's just a tedious conversation to go back and forth. Tell them, oh, it's pronounced Kafumba. I'm not even sure I'm saying it right now. To be honest with you, I just know him as KT. That's all I know.
Well, listen, shout out for Berto for starting, though.
No facts.
Oh, he started.
Oh,
Did you
bro.
make a mention? Yeah, he has him as a starter there. Well, actually, oh no, never mind. For a second there,
I
I
haven't
thought
made a
they
mention
had.
of a lot of this because we just pulled it up.
For a second there, I thought they had 6 starters. But no, you made a mention. I believe in the chat a while ago that Berto was starting at point guard. Am I right?
Yeah. So when Edgar announced the team, they announced him as a point guard.
Yeah, crazy concept. Well, I mean, when
Wow.
I'm looking at it, I mean, it makes sense because you have Berto, you have Keith, you have Ronald. So I'm assuming that's power forward, center combo. And you got Daniel Parrish and you got AJ. Yeah, that it makes sense. He would be the point guard in that situation.
Was Melo not available or something?
No, Melo came off the bench.
Yeah, I think it's more of a size thing. I think the TBL is
Yeah.
something that you have to really consider size into your
That's
perspective.
great.
But it makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of who was playing point guard, not a lot of assists were being distributed at that position. Let me tell you. But shout out to everybody else though for getting it done. I mean, Keith had 8, so shout out to him.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, it from what it looked like the first time we watched, it looked like it was very post-centric when we watched him play the Titans.
Yeah, that makes
When I
sense.
watched him play, the Sentinels as well, a lot of the creation was come from Keith in the post.
So they're
it
going
makes sense you have
inside
Daniel
out?
Parrish. Yeah, it makes sense you have Daniel Parrish and you also have Berto, and they're kind of scoring guards. Realistically, they're more
Yeah.
twos than anything else. So
Yeah.
it looks like that they're going to rely a lot on their big men to kind of create, and then off the bench, you have like really good facilitators. You have Greg, you have Melo. Like that's some great creation coming off the bench.
Yeah, now that you think about it, you're kind of right, Tyler. You're not going to want to start Melo, who's a creator, with Keith. It works in different leagues when the talent isn't as close. But when you have a league where the talent is as close, I guess play styles matter way more than everything. You're gonna want someone who's gonna shoot if Keith is passing it out to an open shooter. Not saying Melo's not a. I'm working on this, Nas. I think Melo's a good shooter still. I just feel like play style wise, Berto would fit that action a little bit more than Melo would fit that action.
Yeah, I
I
think
get
I
it.
think Melo's a great shooter. I just think
Yeah,
Berto, from what we've seen, is also a great shooter,
yeah,
and he offers a little bit more size. And so far, we've seen that the TBL is a league of size.
yeah. That's
There's
that's
not
awesome.
really.
I gotta check one of these games out, man. Like
Yeah,
now, this made me want to check it out more.
yeah, size definitely matters because I saw some highlights of Berto guarding a guard that posted his highlights from that Titans game, and I mean it was him scoring obviously because he wouldn't post it if it wasn't. But like Berto was doing a pretty good job of staying in front of him. I think from a physicality perspective is where he got overwhelmed towards the end of the possessions. But in the beginning portion of those possessions, when he picks him up in the perimeter, you know what I mean, he was doing a really good job of moving his feet, beating him to his spots. I think that guard that I don't know his name, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but the guard that I'm referring to from the Titans, I think what really got him the advantage was once he got 2 feet in the paint, it was just a battle of power at that point, and I think he kind of overpowered Berto a little bit. Um, but yeah, I think he was a big guard, and that's why I mentioned that. I think having Berto as a point guard, although odd, just from a glance, I understand it. I understand it. Now, I do want to ask you guys, how do you feel about Keith, presumably at the power forward? How do you guys
I
feel about
like
that?
that. I mean, like you said, in this league, they're gonna need size. I feel like Keith is gonna be someone if they put him at that power forward. He's kind of a center power forward combo already. I think you throw him in there with another center. You got two bruisers in there, two athletic dudes. Not Keith is unathletic for his size. He's pretty athletic. I just feel like it works. And then Keith really is a point forward. Um, he really is dishing the ball off. He really is finding players. So his play style, he doesn't really doesn't matter if he's at the center or at the power forward. But if they're looking for a bigger lineup, him at power forward it just fits right. I feel like with what everything you guys were saying, it makes sense.
I gotta watch more of Ronald Delp to kind of see how fast he's moving, because I think that's their limitation. Is Keith at the five is fast enough to kind of keep up with everyone. Keith at the four, like you think of fours that we see normally, and it's like AJ. AJ is like the prototypical four that we see, and AJ's fast as hell.
He
Like
is.
expecting someone like Keith to guard someone as quick as like AJ is kind of ridiculous. But this is a very different league, and they do have genuine positions. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's my
would
thought
prefer
process.
Keith at the five. I think though.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought process. Is it's a little odd to see Keith, but there's no telling what the other team brought to the table and what their lineups look like and what their skill set looks like. Obviously, we have to research that to find out. And maybe Keith was just the right matchup for this specific team. That's definitely a possibility. But yeah, I definitely think it's a bit of an odd situation to put Keith at the four. It's exactly because of what Tyler said. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the OG. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That's the OG. He's been around the block for a while now. So I think we'll see how they play it going forward. I'm almost positive in prior games. I don't know if it was against Tampa or if it was the exhibition game, but Delp definitely did come off the bench, if I'm not mistaken, at least one of those 2 games. I'm almost
I
positive.
have a question. Is Edgar one of those coaches that like he's not a set lineup kind of guy? Like, oh, this has been my lineup all year. I'm sticking with them, or is he more like a plug and play kind of guy?
He makes
Um,
changes.
I don't know. I mean, he wasn't. He definitely stuck with his guys back in the FBA days. I can tell you that much. The starting lineup was pretty much the starting lineup all the time. Um, I think players have moved around a lot on this team, so I don't know if I can guarantee that he wants to do a set lineup. I guess we'll just have to wait till the season goes on a little longer to find out. Really.
One thing I forgot to mention, the opposing center that they went against, or four in this case, I don't know which, was your boy Pluto.
Yeah,
He started.
Marcus Russell. Shout out to you, Marcus. He was telling me all week at work. I'm sorry I couldn't make it, man, but I'll just
Oh, he
shout you out
started.
real quick. Yeah, he
Yeah,
started. He actually I got more insider news. Might as well just let it go. He's actually every time they come to play any Florida teams, he will be a part of their team. He is traveling for one game. I asked him if he's getting paid. He said yes. So he's officially a part of this roster when it comes to Florida games. There's a couple other guys I think that are also playing with them. That are Florida guys too. I just don't remember the names. But yeah, he told me, yeah, he's a part of that team
Oh,
when they come to Florida.
Pringle. I
Yep,
forgot.
Pringle. Yes, Pringle. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yes,
Jamarius.
that's what Marcus was telling me. Pringle was also playing with him as well on that team. How did
Uh,
Pringle do?
there's another one too. I gotta look up his name though. Um, it's been a
Yeah,
while.
they're going to be a part of their Florida roster. So whenever they come to Florida, they'll be a part of the team and play those games. But they're not going to be traveling with them across the coast or whatever. It's just when they come to Florida,
You gotta
which
ask
is
him how he got that gig because I'm sure there's
he's
tons
been a
of people
part
that
of a
love that.
bunch of different leagues. To be honest, I know he's been a part of that Sarasota league. He's been a part of some Tampa leagues. He's also done some leagues outside of the state. So he's a pretty well-known guy. So with being a part of all these leagues and having connections, That's how he said he got it. That was literally how he said he got it. Just been around for a long time, and he's not even from our area. He's not really a Central Florida dude. He's more of a Sarasota, Tampa guy. So that's how he's got all those connections over there.
Brandon
That makes sense.
Brandon Farmer was the other one. He also
Yep.
is one of the
Yeah.
guys from around here.
His name sticks out to me. Yeah.
Shout out to
He didn't
Russ though.
play
Shout
though.
out to my coworker.
He played for the he
He
played for
was
the Crocs.
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna say he was on the roster for the Lambs or for the Memphis team, but he didn't actually play the Lions.
Yeah, but that's cool though. I didn't know that type of opportunity could be presented. So that's pretty dope to know that that's an option, really. Um, but yeah, I mean that's all I had for that game. Did you guys have anything else to add?
Oh well, real quick. Now we know who's guarding Keith. No shade at all. But now we know
Yeah.
who's guarding Keith.
To be fair, he Mark Russell fouled out.
Well, now we know who was guarding Keith.
But
Uh,
also Daniel Parrish was at the line a lot. So he was attacking the rim.
Poor Mark, man. I'm gonna talk to him about it at work. He's probably gonna be limping or something. He's always hurt.
no man. We go from the sentence "no shade" to yeah, that man's just always limping around everywhere.
Nah, it's a joke at work. He'd literally be limping around work.
Hmm.
I think like the last 2 weeks his back hurt. He was walking like an old man. Everybody was making fun of him. We actually got a couple players from the Oxleague. Oh, you guys like that transition? Can we do that? We got a couple players, some of my coworkers who are also on the Oxleague. One of them is on Josiah's team, the team that I did not get to catch the buzzer beater on. That Tyler is not going to let me live down forever. But yeah, it's a good transition to the Oxleague, guys. You guys like that?
That's not Josiah's team.
The Lions?
You're talking about he's playing for the other team. The other
No,
team
he's
hit the
playing
buzzer
on
beater.
Josiah's team.
Yeah, he
was,
beat Josiah's team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He put the buzzer beater was on the other team.
No, yeah, for sure. My bad, I worded that wrong. But no, my coworker, the other coworker I have, his name, Andre. He is on Josiah's team. He's the heavier set dude with the locks. He had the locks. Yeah, he was on. Yeah, he's my coworker
No.
as well.
Not that. That dude was also nasty. The two guys that we're talking about, we're gonna talk about the moment they're going off. They're brothers.
Oh really?
Yeah, you couldn't tell. I could see it in their faces. I didn't know for sure though, but I could tell they were related or cousins or something.
Oh,
I
that
didn't know they were
sounds
brothers, bro.
that sounds familiar. I remember seeing that somewhere. Yeah. That does sound familiar. I remember that now. Well, I mean that's our segue. We're talking about the Ox League, ladies and gentlemen. The Ox League is back. Week 1 just happened yesterday, actually, and it was first game of the night: Ducks versus Lions. Perception. A different Ducks than what you guys remember us talking about last year in the summer. Definitely, I don't think there's any returning members whatsoever. But I'd say they arguably got better, although the Ducks did very well that season as well. So who knows? You know what I mean? But very good names, very good talent over there. Well, actually, no, never mind. I'm sorry. The Ducks actually did win that game. They were able to win that game by 2. Now, was that score 100% accurate? I don't know. A lot was happening in that first half. We had a staff member who did not arrive on time, which caused Nas to have to do the stats on the screen as well as the what is that thing called? The scoreboard. And let me tell you, I had a hard time. I'm gonna say that right now. That was one hell of a day. But at the end of it all, it ended up in a tie game with I think what was it, 4.4 seconds left to go. Uh,
Yeah.
and the Lions collapsed. The Lions collapsed. I'm sure there was some suggestions made on how to play defense. I can guarantee those suggestions were not followed because that ball was inbounded, dribbled up the court, passed to a wide open person down the lane. Now there was a man who was able to get there and try to defend it, but the defense, I think the momentum just got the best of him. He wasn't really able to stop and get a body in front of him fully, which allowed Escontrias, I don't know, Jalen, to rise up and finish a layup for a
Look
game
like
winner.
Jalen too.
Yeah,
That's what's funny. Sorry.
I'm gonna just call him Jalen. But shout out to him. He was able to rise up, hit that layup for the game winner, win the game by two. Man, hell of a debut. Uh, First half was the most exciting in my opinion. He did score in the second half as well. But I think what he showed us in that first half was the most exciting of his entire run out there. And then he finished off with a half court buzzer beater. Excuse me.
I didn't know that. And then he got a game winner all in one game. This man had
Bro,
every facet going on that game.
we're like even ignoring the game winners, the shooting clinic that they put on was they weren't
Him and his
missing
brother, right?
in
Yeah.
the first half. Not even just them. There was a dude from the Florida Tigers we talked about, or no, I apologize if I say this wrong.
Jaguars.
Sherman, I believe his last name. Jaguars, sorry, yeah. Like the squad that they've built here. I had to get used to some other names. Dalvin looked great as always. Kevin was hitting some shots too. Kevin Harvey, like that team's looking nice.
Yeah.
I like that team.
I only, I mean, I was the staff member who was late because he was coming off work and my job
Oh,
just doesn't allow me to leave. I got to finish my call and help the customer, right?
Oh, it was you.
Um,
Oh, I didn't know.
could tell.
but when I did get there, I want to shout out something real quick. The atmosphere for the Oxleague is different this year, man. If you missed out this year, I'm sorry. This is going to be really fun. And as soon as I walked in, I felt it. And I'm not saying the other years weren't good; those were good years too. But there's some talent now. There's some teams that um, are pretty equally. I would say this. I don't think there's a for sure winner that we like the other couple of years. Oh yeah, they're definitely going to win. We already kind of made a decision within the first 2 weeks. All my eggs are on this basket, but this year it looks a little bit more, how I would say, evened out and leveled out, which I love for competition wise. But contrast or Jalen, everything I thought he would be. I walked in, I asked Tyler about him. Tyler already gave me the back. Like this guy right here, he was just giving me all the info on him. And the game winner, that shit was crazy because the way it was set up is that the team thought they were going to get the ball advanced. Somehow, some way, the Lions talked to the refs, telling them, "We never advanced the ball. How come they can advance the ball?" So the ball ended up on the other side of the court already. There was an inbound pass to the middle, and then a you got to understand the whole game. Everybody was throwing full court passes, and they were all going out of bounds. So in my head, I'm thinking this is going out of bounds. He made the NFL-esque catch, caught it with one hand and laid it up. And my thing and my takeaway from this whole thing is why was nobody back to protect the rim? Why was everybody up front trying to pressure the ball when there's 4 seconds left? Why would you risk that? And that
Somebody,
was my only takeaway from that.
somebody was there.
I would have say it again.
Somebody was there. Did they do a
He
good
finished off
job?
over someone.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
finished
but
over
there should
someone.
have been more people back there and less people trying to pressure the ball. Like that didn't make any sense to me to pressure someone with 4 seconds left. You might as well let them try to bring it up forward and defend the shot.
But mind you, though, you missed it. He also did hit a half court shot. So they
I
were
didn't
probably
see that.
thinking,
Yeah, I didn't get
"There's
to
a
see that. I
possibility of this
just now
happening
finding
again."
out about this.
like,
So
like
I
once
can
once somebody
understand.
hits a half court shot on you, you kind of recognize that maybe in the clutch, maybe I should get up on him a little bit more. He might do this again to me. Only
Yeah,
Do
you
it
had to-
again.
behind.
Yeah, you had to put pressure on the ball though. It's everybody else that you had to kind of sag off of because if they're all the way at the other side of the court, why are you guarding them so tight with 4 seconds left? But you have to do your best to stay in front of people because basketball players are fast. So you can't just everybody just go to the paint and then next thing you know they get a wide open three, for example. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that part of the defense wasn't bad. I think there's just no hustle. I think there was no hustle. The person staying in front of the ball didn't really do a good job of staying in front of the ball because that across the court pass was a little too easy for him to just make that. If
It
I'm not
was.
mistaken, with his left hand, you know what I mean. If I'm
The
looking at
catch
it,
was harder than the pass.
yeah, I'm looking at it from my perspective. I'm almost positive he had to have passed that with his left hand. He had to have because that's just how I can visualize it right now. But I mean, mistakes were made at the end of the day. I don't know if I'm getting his name right, but I want to say Renee. No, no, no. Maybe it was either Renee Alexander or Campbell, Andre Campbell. Which one of them was the light skinned dude? He was pretty tall. Um,
Neither of them. Renee was my teammate with the lock, so it wasn't him. And Andre Campbell's my coworker, which is the head. Couldn't be either of them.
oh, all right, then I don't know who it is. Then there was
These are
a
the lights who went Jonathan Henry.
I think it was
No,
Jonathan Henry.
I know who. Oh
Was it
no,
Jonathan Henry?
I know who Jonathan Henry is. I know who Jonathan Henry is. I know James Nicholson, Josiah Mentalist. They had a maybe I'm thinking of the
They
wrong
had one
team.
more guy there. I just can't remember his face, but I know who you're talking about. It was their big man. I can't remember
Yeah, he
his
was
face.
he was a bigger fella, but either way, good player that I like to see. That I liked to see. He was pretty poised. I like his game. I like to see how he plays going forward. But the Lions have a pretty decent squad. I think one thing that I would really love to see the Oxleague evolve into at some point would be some better size. I think for the most part, it's a pretty small league. Um, but it would be cool to see more, similar to like GM5 size for the most part.
Well,
You know,
little 6'4" guys, 6'5" guys, just a little bit more like wing player. I get what you're saying.
no, even more. I feel like they have, I feel like they have plenty of 6'4", 6'3" type of caliber guys. But I don't think they don't have anything like 6'6" and up for the most part in most cases.
Yeah,
I think that would be a cool evolution for the Ox League to find that type of size, especially with the opportunities they're providing with the overseas stuff. I think finding
yeah,
those caliber guys would be cool.
yeah.
The real deal bigs, because the only big that we've seen wasn't even really that tall. It was Rome. Like he was really the only big that kind of had like something in the post.
Yeah,
You've
and
never seen
Kong, my
anything.
old teammate from last year, he was the other only guy that, yeah,
Sean
he
Kapoor.
was like a solid 6'7", 6'6". Yeah, he was the other only big guy from there. Oh,
Yeah, Sean Kapoor was another example of someone that was big. Sean,
yeah,
man, I like that little flight squad that kind of they brought over. Like I was telling them when I was talking with I forgot who I was talking with. Was it Josiah? I don't think it was Josiah's. But I had mentioned like the Oxley with some of these prior teams, like if they just keep building on what they have, this is gonna be another great league.
it
That's
is.
that's what works so well for like the GM5, for example. They just constantly bring back people that they've used, but they build on top of those squads. So like the Vipers that we've seen, 2 years ago or even last season, um, when they were UGK, looks different. They look stronger now. They just keep expanding on that. That's what I want
Yeah,
to see from the Oxley. To just keep bringing in talent to these other teams, these other squads, and just keep
yeah,
building on it. I
yeah.
like what they have going, and I
Yeah, like I would
mean, we
say, I'm
talked
with
about
you,
GM5.
Tyler.
I
I
like
would
that.
say individual player wise, they did get better, but as a collective teams, the teams aren't as crazy as I get what you're saying there. Yeah, you want a little
There's
bit more.
parity.
Yeah, yeah, definitely better players, but I don't think the teams are as. I can get what you're saying. I don't even know what word to say with that, but I get what you're saying.
But that was the first game. The second game, did you already say the score of that?
No, I don't remember the exact score. I know they won by 2.
66-68. So it was or no, 68-67, sorry. Lions hit a free throw, brought them up 1,
Off that offensive foul.
67-66. And then that half court layup that you guys just kind of let happen threw everything away.
Yeah,
Facts. And they made one hell of a comeback. They were down by 20 at one point in the game. So, being able to lock in and get themselves that close to begin with was big time for them. They just couldn't really secure that dub. But yeah, that was the first game of the day. The second game, we had Spartans versus Stampede.
Stampede.
Yep. For the Spartans versus Stampede. Spartans, brand new team assembled by Hosea De Freitas. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing his last name
my
correctly.
enemy. That's my enemy right there. It's my Batman and Joker. But I wanted to shout him out real quick because one, he's doing the stats for this league, and two, he's a really I genuinely am a hater. a lot of the times. And I'll admit it, Tyler has said it to me a lot of times. I am a genuine hater, but when I see someone doing something positive for the community, I'd love to shout that out. And I just want to say, Josias, man, number one, you did really good with this team, but number two, what you're doing for this community, giving these kids an opportunity to train, helping them out. I just want to shout you and commend you for that, bro. And whatever we had in the past, I was a player then. I'm a commentator again, slash, podcaster slash camera guy again. So we can be friends and we can hug it out. All right, Josiah, this is my olive branch to you. I don't want no more beef because I love people like yourself, man, and you're a good dude, and I can tell by the things you do in our community. I just wanted to shout you out for that.
Speaking
How
of
do you
shout
beef
outs,
with people that you haven't really got to interact with too much? Like, how,
We've talked. We've talked. We just
yeah.
have talked before.
I
We
was
talked
like, 'cause you
last. We
got
talked
beef
on
with
Friday.
some players on the Vipers too.
Who, me?
And I feel like yeah, I feel like you
This
have
is that kind of guy. I'm Draymond-esque. Can't help it.
taking people in the nuts.
Call me Orlando Fears, okay? Orlando Fears, okay? I ain't worried about that. Zero fears.
Oh God.
Beef with anybody, man. But it's all basketball at the end of the day. I don't. I mean, I might throw a couple f-bombs and a couple birds your way, but it's all basketball, and I hope we keep it between the lines. But I do want to shout that out. The game itself was not that close of a game for a lot of the time. I think the Spartans dominated most of the time. I think the Spartans have two starting lineups. I don't think a lot of these teams in this league do, and they're pretty deep. They're actually really freaking deep. Like
yeah,
they're probably the deepest team in this league.
they had two players off the bench.
Yeah. They didn't have a
Huh?
bench.
They had
Well,
They had two players off the bench.
My bad, I said that wrong. They have two different types of play styles they can play. They can play with the big man, and they can have Vinny kind of bring it up and distribute the ball, and then they can also play outside. Their point guard is pretty strong, and then they have some pretty adept ball handlers. So my apologies. They have two different ways they can play the game.
I wonder why he goes by Vinci. I've never thought of that. I've always known he goes by that, but I never understood why. I
I think it's last name, his last name, I think, or some shit like that.
his
I don't know.
last
Though.
name is De Freitas, so I don't think
Oh,
so. Don't think
I
so
don't
at
know
all.
why then.
Yeah,
I
but I
don't
guess
know.
I'm sure he'll watch this and he'll let us know in the comment section why that is the case. But yeah, he's brought his own team, and you were mentioning shout outs, man. Shout out to Dante Hartnett Jr. Motherfucking Dante Curry.
God.
Dante Curry is out there lighting it up, ladies and gentlemen. And that's something Dante has the capability of doing. I think in some instances he doesn't always get the role to be allowed to do that kind of stuff in a lot of cases. But Dante's shooting ability is definitely up there with some of the best guards in the area that we've been dealing with so far in our time with Atleta. But I think it gets overshadowed by sometimes just the role that he gets on certain teams. But Dante can shoot. He has always been capable of that. He's always had that flamethrower on him, and he definitely exhibited that off week one of the Oxleague.
He looked good. He looked really, really good, and he looks in shape. He looks like he lost a little weight. I think he did say that. I asked him. He did say everybody's losing weight though, but he did lose a little weight, so he looks more in shape than he has before. Me and you both, Tyler.
Not me. Everybody else.
But Dante looks really fluid. His jump shots, the shots that he were taking, they weren't forced shots either. They were open shots. It wasn't like he was pulling up in people's faces. I mean, he did do that a couple times though. But yeah, they were pretty subtle game. He was on fire from the beginning. I think the first shot went in and just kind of just
Yeah,
from
Dante
there.
can shoot, man. Dante can shoot. And then what's his name? Is it Markel? I don't see him on the roster list.
That's what I was looking too.
It's Markel, right?
Yeah, his feet work. Oh my God, bro.
Are you guys talking about that really strong point guard with the locks?
No.
Where he used to have the locks. You're talking about Victor. That's
Oh,
Victor.
okay.
You're
Never
talking
mind.
about big body.
Oh yeah, Victor
Okay.
Morris. Yeah, he was tough. But
No,
we'll
I'm
get to
not
him.
talking about Victor. I'm talking about their guard, the guy who had that and one where Nas was talking about it, where he purposely had the defender behind him and then he laid the ball up and got fouled. I'm
Oh
talking
yeah, I
about
know what
him.
you're talking about. I don't know his name, unfortunately. I gotta get used to the names. Week one. I'm still
Yeah.
learning. I know who you're talking
Oh,
about.
you're talking about. You're talking about Noah, I think.
It
Yeah,
might-
he was low key getting to wherever he wanted to, whenever he wanted to.
Oh yeah, he was nice.
Markel is.
No, he was nice, but yeah, I wanted to get back to Markel too. I never finished my shout out there. Like you were saying, yeah, his footwork is nice. Same similar situation to Dante. I think his role was different last year. Dante didn't play last year, but just the aspect of the role change. He had Tyler, he had Ron. I mean, it was not a lot of ball distribution available there. You know what I mean? So he didn't really get the opportunity to go out there and play his best, and he did. He does now, and he's a talented player. He's very good at this game for sure.
Yeah.
It's like there's a point where he had posted somebody up in the post, and like you don't really see post ups that often at the Oxleague or in general in these leagues. His footwork was, oh my god, some of the best that I've seen. I think that he also got an N1 foul. I thought that's what you were talking about in the post, bro. And his shooting ability is so much better than what we saw last season. Like we did not get to see this player play. We did not. He cut his hair and he's a brand new person.
Yeah. He actually, me and him were talking because I forgot that was my other teammate. Me and him got into a spat, whatever. I'm big against spats, but let me become friends and hug it out. But that's just my love language. But I will say this: he had this. I never got to see him in the post because we got Tyler, and Tyler dominated the ball, and he was like our B player. He was our Robin to Tyler. But his ability to like just bump, and then spin off, that spin itself, that's what you're referring to, Tyler, was so fast. Was so fast.
Yeah.
It was so fast at one point when I saw him spin, I blinked, I looked over, and the shot was up. That's how fast that spin was. And yeah, it was very, very Kobe-like. Like literally bump, spin. Every single time. He scored at least 10 points like that. Easily.
Yeah, I don't know how much he had, but if you told me he had like 15 or more, I'd believe it because he was getting to his spots at will. Like there was nothing that could stop him, and it felt like he had to the point. It felt like he had a spot on every single like point of the floor.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, he shot it. Yeah.
He was, oh my god, but yeah, Dante did Dante hit 30 or was it 29? I don't know why I said
I'm not sure.
We call it 10.
I thought he had like 25, 22 because Craig was keeping.
No, he had at least 25.
25. Yeah, that's what I said. 25, 22. I thought it was 25, bro.
Yeah, I think it was 29 because I'm pretty sure he had 8 threes.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I'd say he had about 25. I don't think he had 8 threes, but I could be wrong. But I mean, I guess we'll see when Hosea gets the stats done anytime now. But shout out to the Oxleague though, man. I'm excited to see what these players have to offer going forward at this league. Sorry, I keep looking over. I got a toddler over here doing a lot of demonish type of things. But shout out to the Oxleague, man. Week 1 tomorrow. We're gonna have the OBL, first week of the OBL as well. Some familiar faces might be there, so it's gonna be a fun time in Atleta TV, man. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and don't forget to join the Atleta Club to catch those OBL games. Remember, get onto that Star Club. If you're not interested, get into the fan club, man, for a chance to win 2 Aquatica tickets. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that again. I said 5 times, and we're about to wrap up our topics here, so I have to squeeze in 3 more. All right, join the Atleta Club, all right, for some Aquatica tickets. Go ahead.
Let me say one thing before we close it out.
We're not closing it out. We're not closing.
Okay, we'll wait. But I was going to say, by paying that $4.99 fee to watch those games, you're also being entered into the giveaways. So there's a possibility that you pay us $5 and you get a $60, $80 value back. Think about it.
You already do parlays on Hard Rock and give them money. Might as well just gamble over here too. Shit.
We're actually going to be opening up a betting service very soon here.
Not to mention, this is brand new, so we are, working our way up to getting members. So just keep that in mind. The chances of winning are very high. So there's not that many members to begin with. However, starting tomorrow, the membership is probably going to go up because OBL members are going to want to watch their games and they're going to start signing up. So listen, if you're watching this podcast, join now before it's too late because we are doing a giveaway in about 14 days, I want to say. The 22nd, I think is what we said. Yeah, 14 days. That would make sense because it would be 2 weeks from now on the podcast. Wow, that's crazy. So make sure you join, all right? I'm going to still consider that my second mention, though, all right? I got to fit in 3 more. Moving on, though, to some NBA topics. We got Jayson Tatum, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite player in the NBA right now. Jayson Tatum, ladies and gentlemen, has returned to the NBA. Some might say early. Celtics say just on time. But time will tell. Time will tell. Jayson Tatum was able to finish the game with, what was it, 15, 9, and 6, I want to say? Sounds about
I'm
right.
pretty sure he had 10. I think he had 10 rebounds.
I think he did have 10. Yeah, you are right. 15, 10, and
That's a
6.
lot of jumping.
No, he had
was doing.
12 rebounds. 12.
Oh man. Jesus.
They're
All
like
right.
throwing his lap. There's no way he's going out there and grabbing them. They had the ball in his lap. 'Cause this shit's insane. But I want to say something real quick before we get on this. I think we're all scarred from Klay Thompson. That's what I think it is. I think Klay Thompson, when he tore his Achilles and then, destroyed his ACL within the year, I think we're all scarred from that. Because if we go look at the other players are playing pretty good. Like KD towards Achilles, he's not doing too bad. There's other. I mean, I
If
can't think of
there's
off the top of my head.
if there's
I can tell you
if we
few.
are
John
scarred,
Wall.
if we are scarred, we're scarred from Kobe. That's what we're scarred from. Like
But
watching
he came
Kobe's.
back and still played decent though. Kobe still played decent.
That is incorrect.
It wasn't Kobe though. It wasn't Kobe.
Kobe did not play decent. I'm sorry. We all love Kobe. We don't have to be that way. We all love Kobe. We can be honest podcasters. Come on. We all love Kobe. We know we do. It's fine. He was not good. Kobe came back. He was not good. It's just a fact. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, my homie. Kobe wasn't good. I'm a Lakers fan. I watched it for 2 years. It wasn't good. He needed to retire.
Also, John Wall. John Wall, that's even more recent, tore his Achilles, and he left the NBA pretty much.
How old were they compared to like KD and Jayson Tatum when they tore their Achilles? Because Kobe was on the
John
back end
Wall
of
was
his career.
29.
How old was Kobe?
Probably 35, 36.
He was
That I could see not ever coming back to fruition. But Jayson Tatum was what, 26, 27 years old? He's got a lot of legs in him left. I mean, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy anymore.
He's the same age that John Wall was when he tore his. The difference is, and I think that this is going to be the reality for Jayson Tatum, is his shooting is not going to change that much. But and this is only the first game, so there's no guarantee it's going to be this way. His lift is not there yet. He needs to get back into game shape for that. And he's not as quick off the dribble.
He had a putback dunk.
He had a putback dunk, he did, but he also missed an alley-oop. He missed a few dunks.
That's true.
Really?
But it's the first game though, so yeah, I think time will tell.
I don't
the
want to hold
story.
that on. Yeah.
Yeah, time will tell that story at the end of the day. But it's the first game back. It's not. There's no guarantee it even is because of the fact that he's coming back from injury. It could just be the simple fact that he needs to get his feet back under him again. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't played NBA caliber basketball in almost a year. You know what I mean? So like that's a factor to consider. But we'll see. I mean, he looked good. He didn't seem to, be favoring anything, which is something that you see a lot when people come back from major injuries. They favor one side of their body more, just because of how traumatized they are from the injury. So we'll see how it goes, man. I mean, let us know in the comment section. What do you guys think? Was it the right choice for Jayson Tatum to come back? Was it the wrong choice? I'll give you my take. I think it was the wrong choice, but I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that everything works out. Jayson Tatum, my favorite player. I've always been advocating for him. I just don't believe that no matter what situation the Celtics are in, I don't think risking Jayson Tatum's health is worth the possibility of competing in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Yeah, shout out to them.
Can I give you my mindset before we switch this up?
Shout out to them for being able to, put together a great squad that won a lot of games and they're top in the East, or one of the top teams in the East. Shout out to them for getting Vucevic. I think that's going to make a major difference for them going forward, especially in the playoffs when the game slows down and Vucevic is able to, play the role that he's best at. Shout out to them for doing everything to put themselves in a great position. I think they work towards making this a run for next year. They're choosing to try and make it a run for this year. I believe that's the wrong choice, but I believe I could be proven wrong, 2-3 months down the line. Who knows?
Let me just say one thing, Pluto, before you say. You're right, because when you think about Jaylen Brown and you think of Jayson Tatum, you still have elite basketball that could be played for 6 to 7 more years. So rushing them back in a situation where, I don't think it's needed. I don't think that's safe. Jayson Tatum is like that premier player. You don't risk it.
Yeah, my whole take on it, I don't think there was any pressure from the Celtics to get him to play, but I think you end up in a position where you're 39 whatever or 40 or whatever. You're one of the best teams in the East right now. You don't really need him to win, but he's a positive. if he's healthy enough to play. I think if they weren't playing good basketball right now, I don't think he would be playing right now. But I think because they're playing good basketball, in addition, like him, whether it's 20 to whatever minutes, how many minutes he plays till they ramp him up even more. I don't think it's a bad idea, especially if he's ready to play. What are we waiting for? If he's ready to go and he's straight, the doctors are saying he's good, we're winning. It's not like you're going back to a team that's not playing for anything. This is a championship team, right? So they've won before. So I don't know. I can understand the timetable. I can get it. You guys, it's the end of the season, damn near. Like you guys are more so for on the health side of things. Like you might as well just kind of just shelf him into next year, start off next year, and then just try to get him to get into his ways next year. But I don't think this is a bad decision for the Celtics. And if he's getting that play time. So let's say they don't do anything this year. At the beginning of next year, he's ready to go 100%. There is no we got to wait till he recovers or get in the game speed. He's in game speed. He's ready to go. I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a bad idea.
I think there's
But I
no
will
way.
say
Go ahead.
they have 19 more games left to end out the season, and of those 19 games, only 4 teams are not in the playoffs, and majority of the teams that they're facing are top seeds in the East or the West, like the Spurs, the Thunder, the Cavs, for example. He's coming back to like a gauntlet, and
Yeah,
that's why I think it's like I think no matter what happens, Tatum has that Kobe perspective of himself, and he talks about it a lot, and he's gonna try to push and push and push. And when it comes to your Achilles, and it comes to like your legs in general, I don't think that you really risk that.
yeah,
I think the Celtics have the final say in whether or not he comes back, and maybe they didn't push him to come back, but they also allowed him to come back, and maybe I don't think that they needed to.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think only time will tell. I think we won't know what the right or wrong move will be until the season is over and we see how it all ended. I will say he seems better. Like he looks better than Clay did when he returned. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Clay was favoring himself, although he did come back and play very well in the game. Game six Clay. We all know about Game six Clay. But he ended up getting injured relatively quickly again. Same thing for KD. I think these players do favor certain, sides of their body when they're going through these major injuries, and I don't know if I saw Jayson Tatum favoring anything, but who knows? We'll see. What I will say though, ultimately, I'm a big believer in the Phil Jackson rule, and I don't know if the Celtics are a team that I consider championship material at this point, or to come out of the East. I am pretty confident that the Detroit Pistons will come out of the East, but I can definitely be proven wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I understand that that's not a set in stone type of take, but I don't know. I don't think the Celtics should have done it. I don't think they should have, but I could be proven wrong. Who knows? Listen, they go to the conference finals. I'm wrong. They get eliminated in the second round. I'm right. That's my
yeah.
opinion.
But
Yeah. Now that I think
also,
about it,
Clay
didn't he
Thompson,
get hurt? He got hurt in the second round of the playoffs, right?
yeah,
Less than 12 months. That's
bro.
crazy.
Also, we keep comparing to Clay Thompson. Clay Thompson not only tore his Achilles, though, he
He
also
tore his
tore his
ACL the
ACL.
next training for after
Yeah.
his Achilles. Yeah.
Which Phil Jackson rule you talking about? The 40 wins, 20 losses?
Yeah.
Didn't the Celtics do that?
No,
Yeah,
they
they did do
got
that.
no, they got to 20 losses first.
Ah, I thought they
Yeah,
did that.
I
Damn.
remember it vividly because I was keeping track of that for some odd reason, and they were literally 38 and 19. They just needed to win their next 2 games, and they lost one, who put them at 38 and 20. And then they went on like a 3-4 game win streak. I was like, damn, all you needed to do is start the win streak 1 game early, and y'all would have been good.
Oh, okay.
It'd be
Makes
like
sense.
that. It'd
But
be
yeah,
like that.
they're close though. I think they're close enough to where I'd say the Phil Jackson rule is a little bit void, just slightly, because they were close enough. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I believe in the Phil Jackson rule, and I think there's been like one, maybe 2 exceptions to the rule over the last like 30
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. And it makes sense if you think about it. For your double your losses, like you should be realistically a good team.
Yeah,
Yeah. I agree with that rule too. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna want to beat someone 2 more times before they beat you 2 times. Like that's the way I'm looking at the division. the Western Conference. Just in general, you're going to want to beat someone more times at a certain time of the year than they beat you. One, you have the one up on them, and two, it just makes more sense. Like my whole thing about that rule though is like how many teams have won a championship if we don't apply that rule? Like applying that rule.
I think the
Like
Pistons.
2 or 3.
I think the
2 or
Pistons,
3?
right?
I think it was
The Pistons and the Rockets. It had to be the Rockets.
Really? These aren't even. I was going to ask. Is there
Oh
any
yeah, that Rockets team in the '90s was pretty bad actually.
Yeah, they
starting
won.
off.
Yeah, they were the Rockets from the '90s. They were the lowest seed to ever win a championship. They were a 6th seed. A team has never won
Wow.
a championship lower than that. They
Yeah.
turned it around by trading for Clyde Drexler. They traded for Clyde Drexler
There's
at the
4
deadline.
teams.
14?
4
Was
teams.
it their
the
first
Seattle
one or the
Supersonics
back
is-
one? Was it the second one they won in a row or their first
The
one?
second one.
The second one,
They
they were,
that's
yeah,
right.
they were bad.
94, and then they had injuries in the second. They started like 37 and like 28 or something like that. But the 2006 Heat, the 2004 Pistons, the 1995 Rockets, and the 1979 Supersonics.
Yeah, no one was stopping that Heat team with Dwayne Wade the way he was playing in the playoffs that year. That was the first year I ever watched basketball in my life.
And that's
No
the
one was
exa-
stopping
and,
it.
and that right there is you have to take into consideration the exception that that these teams needed to make it
Yeah.
happen. The Pistons didn't they trade for Rasheed Wallace in the deadline, right? That's a major factor to take into consideration, right? That can create a null and void situation to the Phil Jackson rule. The Heat had Dwayne Wade started taking steroids in the playoffs, so he went crazy. You know what I mean? he went fucking nuts. He averaged 35 in the finals. Come fucking on,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? That there's not even the Bible has a rule that could stop the Heat from winning a championship that year. You know what I mean? And then we
no
have
team is losing with your player averaging
exactly.
35.
And then the Rockets once again traded for Clyde Drexler at the deadline. So these teams had to make a major change in order to beat the Phil Jackson rule. You know what I mean? And what was the fourth team you mentioned?
The Supersonics, the 1979.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll ignore that. Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
happened. Whatever happened that year happened. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? But three out of the four teams had to basically make a deal with the devil to break the Phil Jackson rule. You know what I'm saying? So like it as Celtics are close, but you know, is Jayson Tatum coming back their deal with the devil? Are we about to see history? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it possible?
Deuce? Where's Deuce? I want to see Deuce. I want to know he's healthy and he's fine.
I don't know, man. It's not,
Dwayne Wade had to give up his knees to win that championship.
I think we need to clip this up. I think the Hooptalk podcast just predicted the script. I think this is it.
Read Pablo Torre.
Oh man.
Dude, wait, did you see the shit that Pablo Torre did with Adam Silver?
No.
I saw it, but I didn't fully understand it. So I might need a.
So he put the evidence of Kawhi's crimes or financial fraud with the whole aspiration deal. He taped it underneath the chair of where Adam Silver was sitting at an event.
What the hell?
That's like some Batman level shit.
Jesus Christ!
Like,
What is he?
Yo, Pablo need to chill.
What is he, the
Pablo
Riddler?
need to chill.
I'm a
Because it's
the
not that
Riddler.
you're fucking with the players. It's the owners that I'm more scared of than the players. The owners have way more power than the players do.
But so in his investigation, he interviewed a few NBA like previous executives and like even an owner, and they said that they would never trust the NBA investigation because it's kind of being paid for by Ballmer realistically. So they have an incentive for
Not to
you
find the
to
evidence.
bail out the Clippers.
My take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ballmer being the richest owner.
My take is.
I didn't know he was Richard Elder either. What the fuck? I'm getting bombarded.
My take is that behind the scenes, they've already put together what they need to get Ballmer and Kawhi in trouble, whatever that trouble looks like. And I think they're waiting for the season to be over to release all that at once to avoid it consuming the media and kind of taking away from the basketball aspect of it. I do believe billion-dollar organizations like that do that very often, where they have everything they need to go out here and release this breaking news, but it's just not the right time, and they're just buying their time as best as they can. I think that's why James Harden was traded. I think that's why they traded Zubac. I think they're trying to do right by them and remove them from the equation of what's about to happen in the future. I do believe that 100%. And it sounds like a conspiracy theory type of thing, but like to me, you can't tell me this shit don't just make perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? The
It
Clippers.
does though.
I'm not saying the Clippers were gonna win a championship. That's not what I'm saying. But Kawhi Leonard's playing fucking great basketball. He's been healthy. You know what I mean? He's on track to play 65 games. Kawhi Leonard might have another All NBA season. If Kawhi Leonard hits 65, he is All NBA. I don't know if you think I'm wrong. He is All NBA. My opinion, All NBA second team. I don't know if that's too much, but at least third team, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi Leonard's playing one of the best seasons of his career. Obviously, defense he isn't what he used to be, but he's still able to go out there and produce on the defensive end. James Harden, although we talk about him certain ways, but we gotta admit he's playing good basketball this year. He definitely was. You know what I mean? Zubac has been a rising star for them over the last 2 or 3 years. There is no real reason for them to have moved those two players. The Clippers were one of the hottest teams in the NBA at the time. Kawhi Leonard looks phenomenal. If you can bring that into the playoffs, we know what that motherfucker can do in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we also know what that James Harden can do in the playoffs, so maybe who knows that could be a reason. But there's no real reason to make
Real
these
quick,
moves.
Harden
So,
didn't. Harden, everything pointed to Harden wanted to retire there. He would say that shit like over and over to the
isn't
point
he
where it
from
was like,
Cali?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's from Cali too. He would say, "I want to retire here." Like I watched the NBA show that they got, like they stopped shooting. What's it called? Starting Five. He would in the documentary. He would say how he does not ever want to get traded. He wants this to be home. I mean, he said that before, but like
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is his home state. You get what
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
saying?
say.
He has said that. Tyler's about to say, yeah, he has.
There's
Like,
four.
nobody wants to retire a Clipper. Let's be realistic.
There's four other teams in California. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to retire a Clipper. But either way,
You
yeah,
know, sorry.
I think it makes perfect
He
sense.
also don't want to be a king, to be fair, though.
Yeah, true.
So that does take another one.
Yeah, true. But overall, I think it makes perfect sense. I think the Hoop Talk podcast has just predicted two scripts. I think the Celtics are about to make one hell of a run in the playoffs because Jayson Tatum is their quote unquote deal with the devil, like these past teams have done. And I think the Clippers are fucked. And they know they are, and that's why they did right by by James, and they did right by Zubac, but they can't do right by Kawhi because Kawhi is the reason they're about to be fucked. So, you know what I mean? So I believe it. Call me a conspiracy theorist.
What are the
but
ramifications for what they did? What do you guys think is going to happen?
they're gonna lose a lot of picks.
So there was one time where someone got paid under the table for the Wolves.
Yeah, I
and
remember
paying
that.
kind of separately so they could get their bird rights, and they lost at least 2 picks, I'm pretty sure, and the player. But this is much bigger because this is a max contract. Like this is Kawhi Leonard. Like this is everybody knows Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, it's really
I
good.
would bet that Ballmer might be forced to sell.
Yeah, I agree
Damn.
100%. I mean it's fraud at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like fraud at at this caliber of money. Isn't it? Aren't you jumping into the realm of illegal for the most part, or is it not possible to jump?
I'm sure over $1 million, it's over illegal. This is over hundreds of millions.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows where it's going to go? I don't want to dwell on it too much, but that's my take on it. I do believe that sometime in the summer we're going to see it. It's going to be like, oh, breaking news. They finally got them. Shut up. They've been had them. They're just waiting. You know what I mean? They've been had them. And they probably know it too.
Last thing. Real quick, because I know we're talking. But what is going to happen to Kawhi? Is he going to lose a season? Is he going to get suspended for X amount of games, or is he going to get blackballed
Depends
from
on
the
his
NBA?
involvement.
Like,
If what everyone has been saying and reporting that he offered the same deal to the Raptors, he offered the same deal to the Lakers, then it's going to look like he's the one pushing it.
So my thing
he
is
might be on.
yeah, are they going to do it like how the NBA players who gamble? Are they going to do it like that? Like, hey, you're done. No more basketball.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow, that's probably the biggest one ever. That's
If
going to
it-
be some good news in August.
If his involvement is to that caliber, yeah, I think they would. I think they would ban him from the NBA.
That's
Cap
crazy.
circumvention is huge, bro. That's cap. Like the cap is the only reason that teams are fair. And they
of course, yeah.
skirted around that completely, and they still paid him his max salary.
That's so weird.
This is
I
crazy.
wonder why they did that.
Yeah, if all he did was accept the money, right, after it was presented to him, then I think there could be a potential of a suspension, maybe just because he's a part of it for the most part. But if it comes out that he is orchestrating or a
Like the
factor,
ringleader, right?
yeah, or if I'm not saying he's a ringleader per se, but if he's because it's it's not like some sort of Ponzi scheme or anything like that, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying if he's orchestrating
It
the
is.
conversations, yeah, not really, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying if he's orchestrating it, if he's leading the conversations in any way, or at least a part of that leading conversation, then yeah, I think it's bannable. I do believe that 100%, or a season suspension at the very least, where you're gone for the season.
Oh, that's a big one. That's tough.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
tough.
because another part of that is one last thing I want to say. He was also defrauding the NBA. If you think about it, outside of the money aspect, in the deal that Pablo had mentioned, he talks about requesting time off for himself, like DMPs, not because of the injury, because of himself. Like he just wanted the time off. So like you're costing fans the opportunity of seeing players. You're costing the NBA money because of that, and there's the additional fraud aspect of it. Like there's like 6 different angles where he could get fined
Bro.
or removed.
Bro, what's crazy is that his 30 for 30 is gonna be fucking great.
His dad died when he was young, so that's gonna be a good starting point. He has a whole crazy story.
Yeah, doesn't he have a 30 for 30 already about like the beginning of his life? Like how he got to the NBA, his dad dying,
I don't
getting
think
shot and
Kawhi
stuff.
has a
Yeah,
I'm
30 for
talking.
30.
Yeah,
huh?
it's like a story about him. Not a not
Okay, it's a ESPN story. Got you.
Yeah. But moving on, though, last topic that I wanted to bring up, two last topics. One, I just really wanted to mention because we've already really dug deep into this, so you can always tune into past episodes to get our takes of it. But looks like Con Knipple has overtaken Cooper Flag for best odds at Rookie of the Year. I saw it on two different places so far, Fox Sports and FanDuel. So I figured that's enough research. I can see where the masses are heading towards. And it looks like they're heading towards the idea of Con Knipple becoming Rookie of the Year. There's still a little over a month left in the season. So really the only question I have is what would Cooper Flag have to do to get back in first place race?
So the thing is, I think it's gonna teeter back and forth for a little while. Their stats are so similar. The big difference is if the Hornets miss the playoffs, I see Cooper winning.
I can see that. When was the last time
That's what's,
two college teammates, competed for Rookie of the Year? Has that ever happened?
I mean, what was RJ Barrett's? No, because
Was he?
Zion wouldn't have competed. He didn't even hit the number.
Yeah, R.J. Barrett was Rookie of the Year that season.
No, I was thinking of competing for it,
Oh,
like how close they were. That's the most recent one I could think of.
yeah. Yeah, I can't think of any. I mean, there might be some past options that we just aren't familiar with because there's definitely players in older days that I'm not too familiar with what colleges they went to, so that's a possibility. But yeah, it's dope, man. Two players, college teammates, college roommates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Competing for Rookie of the Year. That's dope, man. Like I said, I don't want to dwell on it and go to past episodes to keep up with our, discussion about Rookie of the Year. But I got Con whether he wins it or not. That's my favorite to win it. I believe he deserves it. I believe what he's doing for the Hornets is big time, and the impact that he's brought to the table. It's like and let me explain it after I say it. It's like an MVP caliber impact, whereas you are creating a different mold to help win. He's not an MVP candidate. That's not what I'm trying to say at all whatsoever. I'm just saying it's value. He provides value,
Yeah.
winning value. You
100%.
know what I mean?
He added a wrinkle to this team, which is consistent shooting, and that's one of the Hornets. That's what they suck at is consistent shooting. So he added that value there. He was a consistent shooter. LaMelo was never a consistent shooter. Miller was never a consistent shooter. Miles Bridges has never been a consistent shooter from the 3-point line. I think that's where he brought a lot of them also winning games consistently came to the fact that he was shooting the ball at a very high clip and very well.
I just want to point out
The other thing is,
none of them are
okay.
still. So
No, they're pretty up there, especially over the last like couple games. Over the last like 25, 30 games,
Yeah,
they've
LaMelo's been hooping.
statistically had like 3 of the best shooters in the NBA.
but is it those
Yeah.
players that were mentioned?
It's Melo and it's
Miller.
Miller with him.
Yeah,
I
Miller's
knew
had a
about
decent year this year.
I knew about Miller. I knew Miller was shooting really good. I guess maybe Melo recently, yeah. But his season overall probably doesn't look too great.
Interestingly, it's a lot better than I thought though. 36% from 3 from Melo,
Yeah, that's not
other
bad
than
for a
Luka, which
player
is
who you're
crazy.
not setting up a play for and he's shooting off like the dribble. That's not bad.
What is Luka at? I'm pretty sure that has to be better than Luka.
Yeah, probably.
Damn, damn. What did Luca
Hey,
call him? Stray.
1% off. Well, because Luca's the other chucker that everybody knows about.
Okay. Okay.
Were you saying something
What about
about
Anthony
that,
Edwards? What's
or
Anthony
moving to the
Edwards
next
shooting?
topic?
No, that's it. The last 25 games for that Charlotte Hornets team, probably even more. I'll have to go back and check. Have been they're lights out, absolutely lights out. And Brandon Miller, great player.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they have to offer, man. I definitely would like to see them improve their front court at different calibers. I think I don't know if Miles Bridges is the player you want to move on with towards the future. He does good things, and don't get me wrong, he contributes to the best of his ability. I just don't know if he's the player archetype you need at the four, in my personal opinion. I think they definitely should consider some veteran presences going forward, especially in this offseason, trying to incorporate one or two guys that can kind of glue these guys together and keep them, in line and keep that consistency going. I'm happy to hear that the Hornets are building something that makes sense now. I'm happy to finally hear that because some of these teams take forever, bro, to finally do it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the Kings still haven't done it, and they've been going at it for the last 20 years, I think. You know what I mean? Like,
They had a good little 2-year run, but you're right. They have never
yeah,
built
but like
something from the
it
ground
was
up.
all it was all hype though. You know what I mean? Like it was De'Aaron Fox was playing really good, and it sounds good, but like you know what I mean?
Al Murray had a really good year. He had one of the best rookie years for
Yeah,
3-point shooter.
it wasn't a real thing. You know what I mean? Like it was hype. It was just recency bias. They just look good. You know what I mean? I think weren't they like the third
Everybody was
seed?
injured.
Weren't they like the
Got their
third
ass
seed?
whooped by the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs that year. That they
Yeah.
played very well.
Yeah, they got it wasn't real for real, but a team that definitely is real though. Segue of the day, the Spurs, ladies and gentlemen, went from one of the worst teams in the league over the last couple of years to a legitimate championship contender. One of three teams that have met the standards of the Phil Jackson rule, ladies and gentlemen. So they are, by Phil Jackson standards, a championship caliber team. Um, like I said, one of three teams. They've had themselves one hell of a week. They just beat the Pistons, who were at the time the best team in the league, might still be depending on how the Thunder are doing. Uh, and a really good nail biter, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a pretty good head-to-head matchup there. And then played back-to-back the next day and made a 25-point comeback. So they've had themselves one hell of a week. And Wemby himself said it. This is the best basketball, the best. What did he say? The best span of basketball he's ever had in 30 hours. And I can understand it, man. To watch his team, all those young guys persevere, beat the best team in the league one day, play immediately the next day. You know what I mean? Come back from down 25 in the fourth quarter. It's crazy what the Spurs are doing, and it brought him to the point where he was so fucking happy that man cried. And
He's a crier though. He's a known crier.
But I love that.
I'll let you have it.
That's
Victor's a
right,
known crier.
I love that though.
Man.
I love
Yeah.
that though. That's the passion for the game is
loves it.
is important. You know what I mean? It's something that matters, and different players express their passion in different ways. You know what I mean? Draymond has his way of expressing his passion. Kobe has Kobe had his way.
Lou Will had his own way too.
Yeah, everybody has their way, man. But I
Lou
respect
had
it.
two girlfriends.
Lou had my favorite way of expressing it. I'll tell you that.
But it's dope, man. What the Spurs are doing right now, man. All that being said, I'm gonna give my hot take of the day though, because we gotta end on a good note. It is great what they're doing. I think they're a phenomenal team. I think they have what it takes to surprise us. I also believe the Spurs are a second round exit. I do believe that.
I am on there too. I'm the same
I
way
think that
too.
they exit second round, or maybe even they make it to the conference finals, but it's not because the team's bad, it's because they're young and their coach is also young to coaching. Mind you, he only took over the team last season.
Yeah.
Like he is still very fresh to this. And he's a very great coach, because even at the times when Wemby's not playing or he has kind of a down game, they pull it together very well. Like he shaped his team that I personally think should not be in the playoffs right now. Like if you really look at the trajectory from when Wemby was drafted to now, I think we would kind of expect them maybe to be teetering at the play-in, or
same.
maybe maybe like the 6th seed, if anything. But
Yeah,
he has his team playing so well, it's very unexpected.
yeah.
He
Agreed.
also deserves a lot of recognition.
Yeah, I
Agreed.
love I love the way they play ball because they play with a 3 guard set, which a lot of teams can't do because of the size. But when you have a 7 footer back there who moves like a guard as well, you're really playing with 4 guards. Um,
7 footer doesn't do it justice. He's a 7 5 footer.
yeah, 7 5 footer, what my dog Tyler said. But regardless, I just feel like they look like the way they play is 5 out as well. They play 5 out as well. And the players that they've surrounded Wemby with are complementary pieces for Wemby. You got straight slashers, just a bunch of slashers. I just didn't know how important Harrison Barnes was for this team as being their swing man and also being like their veteran presence. I didn't know how much of a presence he was for this team until I heard Wemby recently speak on him. I want to shout out Harrison Barnes, the career he's made for himself and all the stops. I mean, he went from arguably one of the best teams ever to now being with one of the best players ever. I think this next year it's the start of the Wemby era. I think he's going to get a little bit stronger this next offseason. And that's really what I wanted to say about this. The Shea, Chad, all those guys you guys love this year, Jayson Tatum. I'm gonna name them all. It's over now. The LeBron. And I love LeBron. It's over. It's the Wemby era. It starts next year, and I think we're gonna see Wemby be an MVP player, an MVP candidate slash defensive player of the year next year. And I think he's gonna do
Yeah.
that 2 maybe 3 years in a row. I do think he's gonna do some crazy shit. Now that I've gotten
What
to
you
see
had
him.
mentioned about their 3 guard lineup and the sets that they run, it's interesting because they kind of mimic OKC a lot, and OKC struggles a lot with them. So it's almost like this team was kind of built to dethrone them. Like we really thought that OKC was going to be on top for a long time. Over their last 4 games that they played together or played against each other, OKC has only won once.
Yeah,
They've lost every other one, and
they match up very well
some
with
of these
them.
are pretty decidable. Like these are
Yeah.
10 plus, 20 plus like victories. Like the Spurs might have their number. This might be a terrifying team
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're very likely to have a high pick this season.
I think
It's
going
very
forward, it definitely is a possibility for them. I don't know if this season I'm willing to really buy into that, that bet. I think one of the things that I always say every year in the playoffs, if my team is a good team in that year, I always say the one team I want to play in the first round is either the inconsistent team or the inexperienced team. I say that every single year, and I said it. For example, I said it about the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Lakers series. It was like, oh, the Grizzlies are playing really good. The Grizzlies are great. They're done. I was like,
They couldn't
listen,
stop Ron.
I told everybody the same thing. I was like, there's 2 teams I want to see in the first round: the inexperienced
Yeah.
team or the inconsistent team. And the Grizzlies at that time were both. They were inexperienced and they were inconsistent. And I think the Spurs are that inexperienced team, and I think that's going to hurt them because they're not inconsistent. I think that's why they have the ability to exit out of the first round pretty decisively. And I think they pretty much dominate that first round matchup. I would say, no matter who it ends up being. Um, but I think once you get into the second round, now you're competing against a team that has already won a playoff series, has already done, the due diligence to play the right way, to be consistent, and to whatever. And whoever that matchup ends up being, we'll talk about that maybe a little closer to the end of the season. I think that's where it stops. But I definitely think they have the power to get to the conference finals. I think regardless of how the regular season ended, if they go up against OKC in the playoffs, I do think OKC wins that. I do believe that 100%.
It's
I think,
experience.
yeah, I think regardless of how the regular season looks, sure, yeah, they beat them. Sure, when OKC finally won a game, the headline was, "Oh, OKC finally beat San Antonio." Sure, that all sounds good. I think once you go into the playoffs and once you're in a 7 game series, the youth in you will cause you to make a lot of mistakes. A lot of
Especially with that
mistakes.
much pressure behind you too. Like you're
Yeah.
playing for something every game. Like the mental aspect is the biggest thing. Like you're going against OKC. Number one, they've been there, but we've seen this story before. A team dominate a team in the regular season, and then the playoffs comes, and that team who is dominating loses. And it's always that youthful team that's beating that experienced team. But it's a rite of passage. This is the NBA. This is the rite of passage with the NBA. OKC went through it. a couple Western conferences, a couple losses, a couple first round exits. Now we talk about OKC as this dominating, like they're the team to beat. It's just the rite of passage, and it's just proving it, not proving it to themselves and also their fans and the NBA, the other NBA players and the teams. I'm with Nas on that. It's just a rite of passage.
But
You got to get those
yeah,
bumps and bruises.
it's also easier to kind of game plan in the playoffs for teams because you have to think about it, over an 82 game season, you're playing the teams at most 4 times, and you're playing them spread out. Like they played them 3 times in December or twice in December, and then just recently they played them again. You can't really game plan for that as much.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
can't
really
gauge
lock into
anything.
that. In a 7 game series, you could lock into Shea. You could lock into how you're going to defend J Dub. You could lock into how you're going to defend Chet. What I'm really interested though is what is the game plan going to be against the Spurs? Like what is the plan for Wemby? Are like when OKC goes against him, are they looking to rip and run? Are they going back to that set that they kind of ran against the Nuggets that worked really well against Jokic?
I
Like,
think
what do you do?
I
I think
think
you go ahead, Nas.
I think the biggest issue isn't necessarily what you do against the other team; is what you do yourselves, and I think that's going to be the issue that the Spurs encounter. Um, yeah, obviously defense is going to matter in how you decide to play, but I just don't think it's the biggest factor because the way I see it is the young teams go into the playoffs playing the same way they played in the regular season, and that's where they fail. The experienced teams go into the playoffs transforming themselves into a brand new team, understanding that it's time now to play a different brand of basketball. The game has to slow down. We have to play smarter. We have to be more concerned about the next play as the young, when the young teams are more concerned about the current play. It's like, how are we going to get this shot to go in? How are we going to get this shot to fall? How are we going to get this opportunity to score? The experienced teams are all worried about, all right, how does this possession affect our next 5? What do we need to do right now in order to impact the game 10 possessions from now? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what separates the young teams from the experienced teams. OKC is obviously a young team as well. I'm not here saying that they're a bunch of OGs over there, but they've been going through this playoff factor for years now. You know what I'm saying? Ever since Chris Paul came, they've been in the playoffs competing. They may have skipped a year. I don't know if they did. I feel like they missed a year. I don't know.
I
Remember
think
fully?
1 or 2
Yeah.
because they got Chet.
Yeah,
Yeah, check out.
correct. Yeah, they
Yeah.
got you. So, they had their ups and downs in the playoffs, and when you don't have your ups and downs, you go into the playoffs not understanding what downs look like, and you can't react to them. You just don't know what it feels like now to be like, fuck, if I have a bad game today, am I gonna have another bad game tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Like, if my shot doesn't fall today, how do I know it's gonna fall tomorrow? Whereas you play the Celtics in the regular season. One day your shot's not falling. The next day you're playing the fucking Sacramento Kings, and now all of a sudden you feel like the man. You know what I mean? Because they're ass. They can't guard me. But the Celtics just locked you up 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? So like it's that feeling of the team that just locked you up today is the same team you got to play 2 days from now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what's to say they're not gonna lock you up again? You know what I mean? It's the Jalen Green effect. They stopped me once. Now they're just gonna stop me again. And the one day they sleep on me is the one day I go off. And now I woke them back up. And now they're gonna lock me up again the next game. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy.
Hey, shout out Jalen Green though, right, Pluto?
Yeah, I had to throw that in there.
Right, Pluto. Shout out Jalen Green. Oh, he got
I
it.
think he lost this again. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I wanted to say in regards to that. I don't know if you guys had more to add.
No, I agree. You're muted by the way, Pluto. It's hard. Like it's a 7 game series. Like you're really not used to playing these teams back to back to back, and like when you do, it's a very different game. It's also a different atmosphere because, like you had mentioned, if you could recognize every other team is kind of turning it up a notch, and you don't necessarily know how to because you've never been in that environment. Like what change are you gonna make?
Yeah.
And I'm interested because the Spurs are such a great organization. We haven't really seen like rookies come in their first time and have to like perform like this in the playoffs. Like Kawhi Leonard did perform pretty well his first couple playoff runs. So I wonder if they can kind of replicate that.
Yeah,
and
but
turn that into something.
yeah, but I mean, there's a big difference between playing well your first few playoff runs when the head coach is Greg Popovich and your teammates are Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and Manu Ginobili. You know what I mean? Who've been doing this for the last 15 years?
You got Harrison Barnes though.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess.
I, my last thing, before my phone dies on me, the last thing I wanted to say before we go is this is just like a boxer. When you're raising a boxer, you never want a boxer to go out there and win the whole thing. You want him to kind of just face these weaker opponents, gain some confidence, gain some confidence. So when he does get that championship fight, he's usually typically fighting someone who's a little bit more experienced every time. You kind of want him to go out there, and it's like also like training a newborn dog. You don't tell it to do anything because you want them to have that confidence that they can do anything. And then when they get to the playoffs and they get their licks and they lose or win, whatever happens, which I think they're going to lose, now the dog has more experience. Now it has more structure. Now they know how to win. Now we know what we have to do to win. And I think this is just like you guys we've been saying the whole time. I just feel like if they win this year, that's great. But I'd rather them lose this year because I think they can win way more if they lose now. That's just my thing.
Listen, the journey.
Listen, if they win this year, they're gonna keep winning. So like I prefer them to just win now and get that over with.
Yeah.
Listen, the journey you just took to get to that point, I'm not gonna lie, I was lost there for a little bit. I wasn't sure where we were going with that.
My bad.
Yeah, you went from the boxer thing to the dog without ever finishing the boxer thing. So I was like, okay, what's happening
It's
here?
a confidence thing. It's a confidence.
No, I get you now.
Confidence.
You finished it correctly. I'm just saying that beginning portion had me lost. I was like, oh God, I hope we get to a point here because I don't know how I'm gonna respond to him if we don't. But I mean, that's all I had for that topic, man. Shout out to the Spurs. I do think they're doing great things. I love to see teams, go over the hump and finally figure themselves out. And I like this era of basketball that we're in, where there is just no guarantee who's gonna win. We're talking about 7 straight different champions, and that hasn't. I think they said that hasn't happened in forever or like a long time, maybe. I don't know what the exact stat was. But like 7 different championships in 7 different years is dope to see. I like that more than I like the whole three-peats and dominant dynasties. I really do. It's cool to have a dominant dynasty. Don't get me wrong. Like it was cool to live in the Warriors era. It was cool to live in those Lakers days. But like I enjoy the competition of you just never know who's gonna jump in the ring and punch you in the throat. You know what I mean? I do love that a lot. I hope they make it 8.
The last time that we've seen this was 1980. From 1975 through 1980. That was the last time this has happened.
And then Michael Jordan came through.
Well, also the Celtics and the Lakers.
The Magic. My bad. The
first.
Celtics and the Lakers, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say 1980 is not when Michael Jordan came through at all.
It was a different.
Actually, 1983 is when he came through.
Yeah, but he didn't disrupt.
84.
He didn't disrupt any championships being won. That's for sure.
He did it.
Michael Jordan was not winning a whole lot in the 80s or at all. But either way,
at all.
Yeah, at all. But either way, that's all I had for that. We're gonna wrap it up here, man, with my third. Unfortunately, I didn't get to 5. My third mention of the Atleta Club, man. Don't forget to hit that join button, man. Join the Atleta Club. You'll have an opportunity to win 2 free tickets to Aquatica. You're going to have the opportunity to catch a lot of great basketball in Central Florida, man. Talent is growing. Programs are growing. The TBL is providing a lot of opportunities. The ABA, the FBA, so many things are happening in local basketball right now, man. You guys need to subscribe to Atleta TV because this is where it's all going to happen very soon. That's our goal, to make all of Central Florida's basketball run through us. So subscribe now. When we bring them prices up, don't say I didn't tell you. All right. When there's demand and we cost more, don't say I didn't tell you. All right.
No, I was just telling you guys now.
We're
we will be acting different. That's what he's saying. He's
exactly.
letting you guys know now.
I
believe
believe
it's not a problem later.
I believe in the grandfather program. You know what I mean? I believe in people who have been with us. We can keep them at those prices for a little while because that's the loyalty I want to show. But if y'all gonna come next year talking about, oh, I wanted to sign up for the $2, well, guess what? It's $25 now. Yeah,
you had the opportunity to. If you wanted to, you could have, but you didn't. So now it's $35.
If we go to YouTube Premium TV prices, you guys will see. There'll be subtle hints, but you will see me in my Gucci shirt with my Gucci pants.
Hey, listen, if I walk in with a fucking diamond, gold, and silver platinum giant watch like Flavor Flav, Don't ask no questions. All right, just go look at the prices on YouTube, and you'll
We're
understand why.
not. We're not driving
Please
in.
no.
We're having a helicopter drop us. Oh, no, I'm playing.
No, but for real though,
Every
make sure
single
you
time.
join. Make sure you join the Atleta Club, man. We're giving out 2 free tickets to Aquatica. I finally went to go get the Wilson basketball for Alan Nelson. He's about to get that as well. He was our winner for last month's giveaway. If you want 2 free tickets to Aquatica, you got to be a member of the Atleta Club. If you want to watch those OBL games and future leagues that we'll be having as well, you may need to subscribe or join other Atleta Club options. But for now, hit that subscribe button, join one of our clubs, and we're going to be done with it here. Hoop Talk out. Deuces.
Yep.